If you've ever felt just completely drained for no reason, or if snoring is basically the soundtrack to your nights, you're going to want to hear this. We're about to pull back the curtain on a hidden and honestly pretty shocking reason that connects all of this to a huge change in our own bodies. I mean, are you just tired of being tired? Ever lie there listening to someone snore and just think, why? Why is that happening? We always blame the usual stuff, right? Weight, age, maybe a glass of wine too many. But what if the real answer is way older and has everything to do with the actual shape of your face? Let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, we have to understand what's physically going on in our bodies when our breathing goes haywire during sleep. There's a clinical name for it, and it's a condition that is so incredibly common, yet millions of people have no idea they're dealing with it every single night. It's called obstructive sleep apnea, or OSA. And listen, this isn't some rare, obscure disease. It's the main culprit behind more than 90% of all sleep-related breathing issues. It's basically a plumbing problem. When you fall asleep, your throat muscles get a little too relaxed, and your airway literally collapses on itself, cutting off your oxygen. Now, here's where it gets really fascinating. The timing. This collapse is most likely to happen during REM sleep. So why then? Well, during REM, your brain does this amazing thing where it paralyzes most of your muscles. It's a safety feature so you don't start acting out your wild dreams. But there's a catch. That paralysis also hits the very muscles that are supposed to be holding your airway open. So the big question is, why is this happening to us, modern humans, so often? The answer is not what you think. This isn't just about our modern lifestyle, it's about our modern anatomy. And the story actually starts about 400 years ago with a radical shift in the way the human skull is shaped. And this right here illustrates the problem perfectly. Archaeologists have found that human skulls from before the 1600s look totally different from ours. Our ancestors had these wide, forward-growing jaws. There was plenty of room for all 32 of their teeth to grow in perfectly straight. Can you imagine? No braces needed. And the most important part, this structure gave them a huge, wide-open airway. Now, 400 years. In evolutionary time, that's the blink of an eye. This kind of change is way too fast to be genetics. So if it's not in our DNA, it has to be something in our environment. What on earth happened that literally changed the shape of our faces and, in doing so, started choking us in our sleep? Well, here are the culprits. It really boils down to our modern lifestyle. Our ancestors chewed tough foods that gave their jaws a real workout. We eat soft, processed stuff that's practically pre-chewed for us. They were also super active, which helps keep your nasal passages clear. We're way more sedentary, which can lead to congestion and chronic mouth breathing. That whole combination caused our jaws to grow down and back instead of out and forward. So you have this anatomical change, this smaller airway, and it sets off this terrifying domino effect inside the body. This isn't just about making some noise when you sleep. When you stop breathing over and over, you're sounding a 5-alarm fire inside your system with really serious health consequences. Here's how it goes down night after night. Your airway closes. Your oxygen levels in your blood just plummet. Your brain, sensing you're in mortal danger, hits the panic button. It floods your system with adrenaline to shock you awake just enough to gasp for air. You probably won't even remember it in the morning, but this cycle absolutely demolishes your ability to get deep, restorative sleep. And the fallout from this is profound. Get this. You know how some people struggle with high blood pressure that just won't respond to medication? It's a huge puzzle for doctors. Well, it turns out that a staggering 80%, that's 80, of those patients also have undiagnosed sleep apnea. Their body is just stuck in this nightly stress cycle, and it's taking a massive toll. I mean, this nightly war takes a serious toll. Deep sleep is when your brain does its housekeeping, clearing out all this junk. Without it, you get brain fog and you're at a higher risk for cognitive decline. Your heart is getting strained night after night. Your brain can even learn to be so on edge that you develop chronic insomnia. Oh, and that annoying thing where you have to get up to pee all the time? A lot of the time, it's not your bladder, it's your heart releasing a hormone because it's under so much stress. Okay, I know that was a lot of bad news, but here's the truly good news. Now that we understand the root cause, that this is a structural problem from our modern habits, it means we actually have the power to do something about it. we can start to reclaim our airways. And it all begins with the most powerful muscle in your mouth. I love this quote. Think of your tongue as the architect of your face. It is a huge, powerful muscle, and where it rests all day and all night, that provides the gentle, constant pressure that tells your upper jaw to grow wide and forward. When it just hangs out at the bottom of your mouth, like it does when we breathe through our mouth, that support system is gone. The key is to put it back where it belongs. There's a technique for this. People often call it mewing, and it's incredibly simple. Try it right now. Purse your lips together and just swallow. You feel that? That spot where your entire tongue, not just the tip, the whole thing, presses up against the roof of your mouth? That is its home. The whole goal is to train your tongue to just live there, to rest in that spot, with your lips sealed, breathing through your nose. So here's your action plan. Make that tongue posture your new normal, your default setting. Really focus on breathing through your nose always. You can even try a tiny piece of mouth tape at night to help train yourself. I know it sounds weird, but it's a game changer. Choose foods that make you actually chew. And keep moving. Stay active to keep your nasal passages clear. Look, this isn't an overnight fix, but it's addressing the actual root of the problem. So the next time you feel that afternoon exhaustion hit, don't just blame a bad night's sleep. Think bigger. Think 400 years bigger. It really makes you wonder what other secrets to our modern health crises are hiding, not in a new pill or a fancy machine, but in simply remembering how we were built to live and breathe and even eat in the first place. Definitely something to chew on. Thanks for watching.